Have you ever thought of buying cheap AliExpress brake pads for your mountain bike? If yes, and you didn't buy it, in today's video I'm gonna tell you and show you if it's worth it or not.
Hello everyone and welcome to another video. As you already heard from the intro, I bought cheap Chinesium brake pads out of AliExpress. I paid for a set of 4 pairs of pads €7.34, which means it cost me mind-blowing €1.38 per end. But be aware, the price is fluctuating up and down, what feels like on a daily basis. If you're going to be searching this brake pad, you search for semi-metal 2/4/10 pair mountain bike disc brake pad for Sram Maven Ultimate SLV BRZ BSE hydraulic caliper. It is actually the black ones. They don't come with the little screw as Sram does, so just be aware of that. And if you have the original screw, then I recommend you just to use this screw with retention clip. After a week of anticipation, I got the pads, so let's try them on a trail.
So very first lap on a cheap AliExpress brake pads, let's go.
Before I went for the first lap, I did bet the brake pads in on the street, both front and rear for the same amount, and right from the start, those were surprisingly bitey. I straight away felt like Chinesium pads give some additional brake power. But let's go to comparison. Of course, I'm going to compare original SRAM sintered metal brake pads and these. First thing I did was pull out SRAM original brake pads, which I have been riding past about 16 months intensively on my downhill bike, where I also have Maven brakes. I went through 7 pairs of brake pads last season. After first lap, I thought these were more powerful than SRAM brake pads, which could mean these brake pads are actually organic rather than metallic, which could also mean that this will not last as long. But because I want to put this video out before the bike park season starts, you will need to subscribe to find out about longevity. I'm gonna post short video as soon as I am able to ride bike park for some days to see how quickly they wore out. Although, even if they last only 1 weekend of riding in bike park, for the price I would be happy to be swapping every weekend. After first 3 laps I did on my local trails, I'm very much sold on the power of these. As I said, they remind me on organic brake pad characteristic, with strong initial bite and more power, which does not fade on my 75 meter of elevation trail. They also very quiet and doesn't rattle in the caliper. After 3 laps I went back to SRAM metallic brake pads and I felt like they were more spongy and the initial bite was not as sharp as the Chinesium pads. And what about the wet riding?
We had about 12 hours of solid rain last night, so I'm out. Trails are not so extremely wet because it wasn't raining for longer. So I'm gonna splash a bit of water onto the brake rotors just to make it a little bit more challenging for the brake pad, and hopefully we're gonna hear if it's loud, the brake pad, or if it's the same as in dry. So let's go for another lap. So you heard it on the trail, and I believe the Chinesium brake pads are actually quieter than SRAM ones. By now you probably think that I'm biased towards the Chinesium ones, and I am probably because they're so much cheaper, and I don't see any more reason why I would spend 25 euros for the SRAM ones. And yeah, I'm going home now, order some pack of I don't know how many of these. But one more thing what would be for me interesting, is longevity. If you're also interested, then definitely subscribe to my channel, because I'm gonna post some when I get to some very wet day of riding, and also longevity in short form in the vertical video. So thank you very much for watching, and see you on the trails. Bye bye.